Hello, 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 and hello again. You are welcome to this channel. You are welcome to, what we have for today. We're always here to inspire, to inform, to educate, to create awareness. And today is another topic in our series of careers. And I have a wonderful friend. We've been for years from Fejikola. I always bring my Fejikola girls because they are just spot on. They are women of substance, and they've got a lot of things to share with us. So she is a lawyer, and today's topic is law as a career. Her name. Without further ado, I'll just allow her introduce herself because I don't think there's any way I can introduce a lawyer as good as a lawyer will introduce herself. So I will bring on the screen Barrister Adedoyin Okeya, and I'll add at the back JP. You're welcome.
Bumi, good to have you too. Good morning, everyone. Is it afternoon here? Okay, it's afternoon. It's afternoon. Good
Yes, what was
afternoon, everybody.
that?
My name is Adedoyin Abosedi Okeya. I'm a lawyer and a mother and a wife. I was born in 1975. I attended St. Louis Nursery and Primary School, Akure. From there, I proceeded to St. Peter's Nursery and Primary School, where I had my primary school leaving certificate. Then I went to Federal Government Girls College, Akure,
Yes.
where I obtained my senior secondary school certificate. From there, I proceeded to the Eastwell Ondo State University at Wikiti, where I had my LLB. And then in 1999, I went to the Nigerian Law School and I finished in 2000 and I had my bachelor of law, barrister at law. I had my BL in 2000. In 2009, of course, after my BL, I proceeded to Dunlop to do my mandatory NYSC, National Youth Service Corps, in Dunlop Nigeria PLC, the Eastwell Dunlop Nigeria, the defunct Dunlop Nigeria PLC, because Dunlop Nigeria PLC is no longer in Nigeria. They are now in Ghana. They still have some of their subsidiaries in Nigeria. But the main company, Dunlop, is now in Ghana. In 2009, I became an associate of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, and in 2020, I also became an associate of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria. After my stint at Dunlop, where Dr. Ayo Ajayi helped me to really gain good knowledge of the corporate world as regards company secretaryship and what have you. I did a contract job with them for about a year. Then I left to join the practice of Barrister Olatunde Adejuyi Igbe, who is now a senior advocate of Nigeria. I was introduced to civil and criminal proceedings. I learned how to do legal drafting and conveyancing, which we had been taught in law school. I was introduced into drafting of legal notices, agreements, contracts, negotiation of contracts and agreements, recovery of premises, recovery of loan. We're also into family law. You know, I also did drafting of wills, codicils, and what have you. So there, I gained an appreciable knowledge of civil and criminal proceedings. I also worked with Ugo Ujiri and Co, but majorly, I really gained a good insight into litigation from the chambers of Barrister Olatunde Adejuyi. After working there for a while, I ventured into my own private practice. I decided to have my own law firm. But just as I was about, or as I just started it, I was about to start it when I got an offer to work with the Corporate Affairs Commission, and I embraced the offer. And that's where I work now as a lawyer. I think I should now talk about the branches of law. We have family law, we have maritime law, entertainment law, oil and gas law, law of intellectual property, to protect the interest of authors of books and writers, so that there won't be plagiarism. I
Yeah.
won't just go and take glory for what somebody has taken time, what somebody has painstakingly done, the work of
Mm.
somebody else's work, which are intangible. Intangible in the sense that they cannot be seen.
Mm.
Maybe the book written by Dr. Abel now, I may just go and get a particular page,
Very.
start it and reproduce and claim that I wrote it. That's plagiarism. So
Mm.
intellectual property law protects that. Maritime law governs shipping of goods and other items generally. Oil and gas law, as the name implies, helps to regulate the oil and gas industry. Entertainment law helps the artists to know about their rights and also help them to protect their work too. You have comedians now, plenty comedians doing different skits. Another person cannot just go and uh, lay claim to somebody else's work. We have popular ones like this one that makes us laugh. What's his name now? I don't know whether you know about this Sister Equitos or something like that. And
Mm.
this guy from Ikiti Gorosu and what have you. So many comedians who are into skits now. Everybody,
Mm.
and each and every one of them can have their intellectual property protected. And then we have the corporate law, like the one where I'm into now. Like I said earlier, we're into registration and regulation of companies in Nigeria. We have company secretarial duties that can also be performed by lawyers. They help to ensure that corporate governance rules and ethics are enshrined in the company. The company secretary also ensures that statutory notices are issued as and when due, registers are kept, statutory registers are kept and updated properly, minutes of meeting are properly prepared and updated and distributed to relevant stakeholders. The list is endless, you know. Um, Basically, law is an interesting profession. It's a career that you can pursue and you'll be fulfilled. There are different areas of law that you can go into. You could choose to go into litigation per se, wherein you go to court regularly, you advocate on behalf of clients, you channel valid arguments and give cite relevant case law to buttress your arguments and help generally represent clients. Aside from that, you can be a solicitor where you draft agreements, you draft notices, you draft services, maybe legal service agreements, legal notices, deed of conveyance, and what have you. Aside from that, you could also decide to go into the judiciary. You know, you can become a magistrate, joining the lower bench, or you could join the higher bench by becoming a judge at the High Court. When you are at the High Court, you can be after some years you can be elevated to the Court of Appeal or High Court, which are courts of coordinate jurisdiction, and then if fate smiles on you, because it's now highly competitive, I must admit, if fate smiles on you, you can even be elevated to the apex court, which is the Supreme Court.
Mm.
So, uh, other than this, you can also choose to be a lecturer. You teach in the universities, you impart knowledge, you can be a law lecturer. So, there are several things you can do. You can also be in the corporate world, which is what I'm doing now. I'm more into corporate practice now. I mean, I'm a corporate lawyer now. I work with the Corporate Affairs Commission where I do verification or we're into registration and regulation of companies. Majorly,
Mm.
we're into the Corporate Affairs Commission is the federal government agency that is saddled with the responsibility of registration of businesses in the whole country, registration and regulation of businesses. And where need arises, and the commission can also carry out an investigation into the activities of a company to protect the interest of minority shareholders. So there are some, I mean, the law is so vast. And having said that, I think I should define what the law is. Law is doing things with rules. It's like it's an enterprise of subjecting humans to the governance of rules. Law is social engineering. Without law, the society will become chaotic. We'll probably go back to the archaic period. I mean, we can as well be during the go back to the jungle period where might was right. It was right. We'll be doing jungle justice. If I'm stronger than you, even if you did not provoke or offend me, you know. So laws come with rules and they come with penalties if you fail to abide or comply with these rules. They come with penalties, they come with sanctions. These sanctions serve as though, yes, we know that, okay, there are laws against murder, law against homicide, law against rape, law against this, law against that. And from time to time, we still have deviants in the society who, in spite of the serious penalties that comes with this infraction of these laws, they still violate these laws. You know, some people are not mentally balanced. We have people who are not, and I'm serious about this. You know, it's not everybody that is okay
Yeah.
upstairs. Some people, they just walk around. They're not exactly having their sanity. So, and then some people, they are just wired in a funny way. So, such that somehow they will still violate the rules. But majorly because these are exceptions rather than the rule. So, because there are laws, a great number of people obey the laws, obey these rules, and because of that, the society is able to be managed properly. That's why I call it social engineering. Now, if I had a swimming pool in my house, or maybe I have a kind of stream, a natural stream within my compound, and it's just 2 feet deep, and I have somebody, maybe some people, a family friend comes into my house with his or her children, and I'm citing a 2-year-old child about to drown in that 2 feet deep water. I hold that child the duty of care and skill to make sure that that child is protected from danger. But if that stream was outside my premises and I was just passing and I saw that child in the same circumstances or scenario, I might as well just walk past the child without making any attempt to assist the child from drowning. That way, actually, I'm morally obliged to help that child. But if I fail to, I'm not liable. I'm not legally obliged to help the child. So I must also say that law and morals are intertwined. They are two sides of the same coin, and they kind of walk hand in hand. But at times, where there are also differences. There's a difference between law and morals. Law is a career that, if you have persuasive skills, if you are interested in helping the downtrodden, if you're interested in helping people to fight for their rights, it's something that will interest you. It's a course or career that helps you to think. It helps your analytical thinking skills. You know, in fact, there are so virtually in all spheres of life we need law. Is it in the family? We have family law. So majorly, I believe it has been an interesting thing for me. Good. I don't regret venturing into law as a career. It's even it's a noble profession. Lawyers are held in high esteem. Anywhere you go, you are well respected and recognized. Even when you are going to court and you are in your bib, and wig, and normally you're not supposed to adorn your wig when you are when you are driving or you're going to go. You're only supposed to adorn it when you are in the court premises. But you can wear your suit and wear your bib so that you don't have to start rushing to do that when you get to the premises. By the time you're getting to court, you just want to like carry your gown and your wig and then rush into the court premises and wear them before you enter into the court premises. But even that bib, when they see your collar, the Lord, eh, even security officers, they will honor you. So it's a noble profession. It's held in high esteem, just like some other professional courses. That's why we are called the learned people, because
My learned friend.
we're very knowledgeable. For students who wish to pursue law as a career,
Mm,
you in Nigeria, you are expected to have 5 credits in your WAEC or WASC. In Nigeria now we have what we call SSC, and then we have NECO too. You are supposed to have 5 credits that should include mathematics and literature in English. Most universities now require mathematics and literature in English. Even in my days,
mm,
I gained admission into the university in 1992-93 session after I finished from Federal Government Girls College, Akure. And in that school, in the Israel Ondo State University, which is now Ekiti State University, Professor Oyeyebo, they insisted that we must have mathematics and literature in English to be considered for admission.
mm,
So it was enforced even then. Most universities now have also taken the cue from that, and most of them are requiring that candidates who want to come in to study law should have credits in mathematics and credits in literature in English at least.
yeah,
For JAM, you may wish to do my English language, or you must do English language, literature in English, history or government, and any other course such as economics, geography, or CRS.
mm,
When you get to the university, in your first year you will do what we call legal methods. You will just do only one law course, and there will be other courses that you will do to add up the number of points you need for you to have the required cumulative grade point average to be able to graduate from the university. So these other courses are not exactly uh, your core competence courses, but there are other courses that you just must do, like all this GST 1 or something, GST this, GST that, and some other courses. But the only law course you will do in your first year is legal methods. From year 2, you start doing law of contracts, you do admin law. To year 3, you'll be doing criminal law, law of torts, law of evidence, law of banking and negotiable instruments, law of intellectual property, and the laws until you complete your 5th year, whereby you also do jurisprudence. And when you have completed your 5th year, you'll be awarded LLB, that is Bachelor of Laws. When you are through with your 5-year course in the university, you are expected to proceed to the Nigerian Law School. Hitherto, there was only one Nigerian Law School. But
mm,
later, after we left, it was decentralized. I think in 2003 or 4, they have where they created 2 or 3 more. But right now, I think we have up to like 4. The headquarters is still in Abuja.
okay,
Then we have the Lagos one. We have one in Kano. We have the newly established one in Port Harcourt. We have in Enugu too.
mm,
So you can make your choice to go into any of these law schools. If you studied outside the country,
mhm,
you are still expected to come and join the bar part 2. We call it bar part 2. You still have to come and do a 1-year program at the law school to familiarize yourself with the laws and legislations of the Nigerian of Nigeria. So it is compulsory. You will still have to come and do that bar part 2 course. The same thing is applicable elsewhere too. If I'm to go outside Nigeria now to go and practice, I'll have to like do at least 1 year back course too over there, to get their certification. But if I do not choose to practice outside Nigeria, if I am not relocating, you know, I just want to go and pursue a particular course, a particular case in maybe like in Hague. In Hague now we have the International Court of Justice, and
mm,
we also have the International Criminal Court in Hague, where any lawyer can go and represent anybody there. These courts were established to try to investigate and try people who have committed very grave offenses against humanity. You recall that during the NSAS program, NSAS protest, a lot of lawyers and Nigerians were clamoring that the the soldiers that were supposedly involved in the alleged killing of youths should be tried at the criminal court of justice and what have you. So even heads of states of nations have been tried if for those that have committed heinous offenses against their people. So basically, law is interesting. Law is a good career to pursue. You just have to be determined. It's not a walkover course, you know. It's not something that, because most of the courses in university are 4 unit courses, virtually all law courses. In fact, all law courses are 4 unit courses. You cannot afford to have a carryover or have a very poor grade. Otherwise, you come out, you may not even be able to recover, or you come out very poor. So you need to like be studious, put in several hours to study,
Yeah.
and then make up your mind that this is what you want to do.
Okay.
Once examined, definitely you want to read and pass all your courses. So it's not a work. It's not something that you can use fire brigade approach to study. For instance, now we have people who studied. I'm not trying to be who study some courses that are not so difficult. For instance, let me just not mention. You know, some of them can just carry their handouts now. 4 weeks to the exam, 3 weeks to the exam, study assiduously, and then they can still pass. You don't try that as a law student. You have to read consistently. You have to be consistent in your reading. Not that you have a law of evidence exam and then you just carry it 2 weeks to the exam. You are not going to have to.
Go anywhere.
You have a limit in it for you. That's just the truth. So you have to be consistent. You have to read assiduously. You have to be determined. You have to be a serious student. Non-serious students should not consider law as a career or as a course in the university because you're just going to mess up yourself. So
Yeah.
basically, that's
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. So loaded. So it says so many things. I couldn't even keep up with my pen. I wanted to write things. I said a lot of things, starting from criminals. You mentioned something about criminals who are not wired properly upstairs. And I began to wonder, so is being a criminal genetic? Is it familial or sporadic? But anyway, that is a topic for another day. Let's not go into that.
I think we should because I was reading the Punch today. I read another thing and I was like, is it that people don't learn? You hear several terrible things every day and then people keep repeating it. One man in Ogun State, when he raped a 16-year-old girl in connivance with his own wife.
Wow.
His wife was the one that locked the door. She was the one that lured that 16-year-old girl into their apartment, supposedly to go and run an errand for them. So she specifically sent her into their room. When the girl entered, she locked the door from outside, and then the man raped her. And when he was done, the girl was crying. The woman subsequently came to open the door, as reported in the papers today. Punch recently. She opened the door and then she was now petting the girl, telling her that you are now a woman, don't cry, and make sure that you don't tell anyone. She even threatened that if she told anyone she was going to have her killed. But the girl was wise enough to still go ahead to report to the police. And you know, day in, day out, you hear things like this, heinous crimes being committed like this. You begin to wonder. You know, some of them they use these people they do these things for ritual purposes.
Yes.
Otherwise, why would a woman connive with her own husband to go to have him rape a 16-year-old girl? I mean, why would you do that? And every day you hear these things, they still prosecute cases like that, and then they are jailed. Some of them are sent to life imprisonment, and you still find some people still committing this crime. How do you explain that? That's why I have to say some people are wired.
You know, you're not wrong. Seriously, there's so many things you hear, you listen to, it's just mind blowing. There's a program I watch, Brekete Family, and oh my goodness, that is another world on its own. But I'll leave that. Like I said, I'll leave that. That's a different topic for another day. So thank you very much. You said so much about law and what to expect and how students who want to go into law cannot take it for granted. You have to read every day. Sometimes like at the uni, I used to see you guys carry so many big books around, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't like that much reading. So yeah, you're wired to carry books like that and to read them. But one question is for people who are listening now, for viewers, you are welcome here. Please write your comments, write your questions, and Barrister Adedoyin Okeya will be able to attend to your questions when we make this live. So my question actually is, what steps can be taken by viewers who are listening now who want to be internationally relevant? What steps can they take to make themselves internationally relevant? Because I know laws in different countries are different. So you can't come from Nigeria and say, "Oh, I want to practice in the UK." What do you think people who have an ambition to maybe go international as a law student, what should they be doing?
They will have to take uh, international exams to get certification of the country where they want to reside and practice. If you're going to Canada, when you get there, you will still have to do their bar exam. If you're in US, it's the same. You still have to do their bar exams. If not, you will not be able to practice there effectively.
Oh,
But you can choose to be an immigration lawyer, you know. But for you to actually be able to thrive in other countries, you
yeah.
have to have their certification. You have to
Okay.
do their bar exams again too. The same thing is applicable in Nigeria. If you Even if you're a Nigerian who
Mm,
left Nigeria to go and study abroad, if you are
mm,
coming back to the country, if you want to practice it, you have to come and attend the law school for 1 year again. That's
mm.
the practice. So the main thing is, if you want to, as a lawyer, you're a lawyer. I mean, you remain one.
Whatever.
But if you want to go and be practicing in specific countries, you have
Mm,
to follow their own regulations. You
okay.
have to obtain their own certification before you can practice there. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess for people who love reading, if you've done one, you have to do another one. But if you know where you're going, why not go to that place and learn what you have to learn rather than okay, well, left for people to
And
decide.
of course, we've had people who have come to Nigeria to do part two, and they'll still
Mm,
go back to UK to practice or go back to
mm,
USA. And so the reverse too can be the case. We've had, I know of a colleague who relocated to Ghana and also had to do the Ghana bar finals again, even though we're from the same West African West
yeah.
African country. I was like, we're from the same West Africa, we're from the same continent, we're from the same West Africa.
Yeah.
But she said that she needed to do that for her to be able to penetrate
Mm,
the practice
okay.
there.
Okay. Great. Great. Okay. So the final question, you can choose which one you want to answer. Have you got a favorite other boss or mentor or quote that you want to share with us?
Oh,
What
I have
guides
a
you
favorite
daily?
mentor in the legal profession. Unfortunately, he's late. You all know him. He was a legal icon and he remains one, even in death. That's the late Ganifa Wemi. I really liked his tenacity of purpose. I liked the fact that he was a detailed person, extremely meticulous, always fighting for the masses. He was determined to always, you know, to in fact, he did a lot of he made a lot of changes. If through the instrumentality of the law, for instance, now Itato we had there was a time that it was only two-party system that they wanted in Nigeria. It was foisted on the country, but he went
Mm,
to the court to challenge it. That
wow. The
why
whole
would we have
country.
only two parties? No, we should be able to have as many parties as possible. You could even be
Mm,
an independent candidate, and he was able to scale through. He succeeded. He won.
wow.
You know, so I also like the fact that he used to fight for the fundamental human rights of the masses. He
Mm,
was really a great lawyer. In fact, uh, when as a secondary school student, I'd wanted to study law because of my uncle. But each time I had to read something about him in the what's the name of the News Watch, Each time I read the interview, granted, I desired more to read more. Yes.
Oh,
So I love Galifan. Yes.
wow,
He's
that's
a
great.
legal, yes, a great legal icon. Yes.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. And any quotes that drive you daily?
Hmm. It's a Bible passage, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Very wonderful.
I
Thank
know.
you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. You've given us a lot to chew on. And I'm sure viewers who are watching, if you are like youths who are listening, and even parents of youths who are listening, if they are not ready to study, don't force them into law. And if they are willing to do law, please encourage them. Here is Barrister Adedoyin Okeya. You can always ask her question, and she will be willing to mentor or, do what lawyers do. So I don't know the aspect, but I am so glad you found time out of no time to be here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'll see you another time. I'll see you later. So, viewers, you've heard it all from the one and only barrister friend I have. Actually, I think she is. Okay. Yes. So that there you go. So don't look for my trouble, Lo. If you look for my trouble, I get person where I go call, and you already know her. So she's ready to fight for me. So don't look for my trouble. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.